James Cameron is renowned for creating larger-than-life heroes, but did you know that he was one too? Guillermo del Toro will never forget what his lifelong friend did for him in a time of great need. Director Guillermo del Toro is praised for being a master of modern horror cinema. The Mexican-born auteur began his career as a special effects artist before diving into filmmaking. Now known for his celebrated films like Pan's Labyrinth and The Shape of Water, del Toro made his feature film debut with Cronos in 1993. During the film's pre-production, the director met and befriended fellow director James Cameron at a 4th of July party. The two hit it off, and Cameron later allowed del Toro to stay at his guest house. Moreover, he also made various suggestions for Cronos. Needless to say, the film was a hit. Cronos won several awards and ultimately led to his second film, Mimic, but the production of the sci-fi thriller was anything but ideal. Del Toro heavily clashed with the film's producers, the Weinstein brothers and Miramax Films. He later admitted that he hated the experience. In a 2022 interview, del Toro admitted that he had agreed to work on Mimic because the production of Cronos had plunged him into debt. He said,
"I owe $250,000 personally, and I have to pay it."
Things, however, were about to get worse. In the midst of production for Mimic, del Toro's father, Federico del Toro, was kidnapped in his hometown of Guadalajara, Mexico. The kidnappers wanted $1 million in ransom money. There was only one issue. Del Toro didn't have the funds. By this point, del Toro had put all of his money into Mimic and didn't know how he was going to pay his father's ransom. The family eventually hired 3 hostage negotiators, to no avail. After learning that del Toro's father had been kidnapped, his old friend James Cameron stepped in, and he took del Toro to a bank and gave him the $1 million he needed. In addition, he recommended a negotiator that could help with the process. In 1998, Federico was safely returned after a harrowing 72 days, all thanks to Cameron. A few arrests were made in the case, but nevertheless, the del Toro family left Mexico permanently shortly after. Del Toro has gone on to say that he wishes he could live and work in his home country, but that the deep trauma from the ordeal has prevented him from doing so. In 2011, he told Time, "Every day, every week, something happens that reminds me that I am in involuntary exile from my country. But to talk about life in a direct way is the work of other types of storytellers. As a man, the kidnapping defined my life. As a storyteller, I try to define myself." Although del Toro has said that he is proud of Mimic, he doesn't have any fond memories of this chapter in his life, saying, "I have got to tell you, 2 horrible things happened in the late 90s. My father was kidnapped, and I worked with the Weinsteins." The kidnapping later influenced del Toro to produce the 2019 film Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. He became enamored by the books as a teen and encountered original prints of the illustrations shortly after his father's release. Despite being on the verge of financial ruin at the time, del Toro purchased the art and later began working on the film in 2018. In recent years, he's been reluctant in discussing the kidnapping due to stress and safety concerns. However, del Toro has said, "My relationship with my dad is much more human now. What changes is you go from being a son to being a man saving a man." As for his friendship with Cameron, he told the Daily Beast in 2017 that it was still going strong. Del Toro stated, "He's a great friend and an even more extraordinary filmmaker." In 2022, del Toro tweeted his praise for Cameron's latest film, Avatar: The Way of Water. He described the project as a staggering achievement and referred to Cameron as a master at the peak of his powers.